This is Damon Fordham, adjunct professor of history at the Citadel and Charleston Southern University, as well as author, lecturer, and historian. Now, what you just heard was a song called Here Comes the Honey Man from the great folk opera of Black life in Charleston called Porgy and Bess, written in the 1930s by Du Bois Hayward and George Gershwin. And they based that on the real-life adventures of a singing black street salesman in Charleston who lived in the 1920s by the name of Samuel Smalls, whose story is discussed elsewhere in these videos. But the reason that they did that song, in part, was because throughout Charleston's history, you had these singing street salesmen going through the streets singing to sell their wares. Usually they were around South Market Street, where the city market is today, and where, contrary to popular belief, slave sales were not held. Those were held 3 blocks away over on Chalmers Street, where the actual old slave market was. But for right now, though, as for the singing street salesmen, they played a very interesting and entertaining role in our city's history. For example, if you were in Charleston about 100 years ago, you would have seen a black man selling the porgy fish out of an ice cart, and he would go, "Porgy! Porgy walk, porgy talk, porgy eat with a knife and fork, porgy," in order to sell his wares. Then you would see a child selling the Charleston News and Courier newspaper, and according to one of our great storytellers in Charleston, a gentleman by the name of Harold Dick Reeves, who remembers a lot of this, he would get up there and go, "Look out your window, peep out your door, come on and get your news and courier," in order to sell his wares. Then you would have a broom salesman who would go, "Drinking, gambling, sleeping on the floor, that's what keeps a man so poor," etc. and so forth. But for right now, I'd like to talk about 2 of the last of the great singing street salesmen of Charleston. The first here we'll discuss is a descendant of Russian Jewish immigrants by the name of Samuel Sonny Goldberg. And if you mention Sonny's name to anyone in Charleston above the age of 35, you'll get a big smile on their face. Sonny was known for singing in front of J.L. Goldberg's furniture store on 445 King Street. And he had the most atonal, off-key voice known to man, but yet he was somehow appealing. The commercial that I remember him doing this when I was a boy went like this. "They call me the old King Street singer, 'cause I sing whenever I'm blue. And if you should be feeling lonely, then I'd recommend it to you. You may not be Mary Olanza, nor Fisher, nor Coma, nor Bing, but you feel so good in the morning when you open your mouth and sing." By the way, close every Saturday for the Sabbath of Servants. That was Sonny. Sonny died in 1997 at the age of 75. And there's a marker in front of where the store stood on 445 King Street to commemorate his career as a goodwill ambassador to the city of Charleston. And the last was a black gentleman who was a real local legend, Anthony Wright, a.k.a. Tony the Peanut Man. His sisters, Jackie and Cheryl, sang in the choir with me in Wando High School back in 1979. Now, Tony had a secret recipe for boiling peanuts. And he would go through the city's markets as well as the River Dogs baseball games, and he would go as follows. "Hey, hey, now what I say, hey, got some boiled, I got some roasted, got some fried, and I got some toasted. Oh yeah, Peanut Man, catch me again. Got some hot and I got some cold, got some deep down into your soul. Oh yeah, Peanut Man, catch me again. You've got the right one, baby." And so he became very famous for doing that. And you can also see him elsewhere on YouTube in the flesh doing his thing. However, he died of natural causes in November of 2016 at the age of 63, and he was the last of the great singing street salesmen of Charleston. But thanks to my memory and my ability to mimic, you can enjoy the experience of the Charleston singing street salesman as that part of our city's history. This is Damon Fordham.